Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18 and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 127, with Enfield Town FC. Our form this season has continued. We are either winning close, losing close, or losing badly. Very few draws. After beating Newcastle in the FA Cup third round game, we played Arsenal away. Tony Davis had an 11th minute goal. Nicholas Lucero had a brace of goals in the 70th and 89th minutes. We had our chances, we just couldn't put anything in the net. Again, we had a lot of long shots. Of our 11 shots, 5 of them were from distance. The defense was just, they weren't good. Bautista had a 6'5", Millen a 6'2", Mugo a 6'4" before he went out, Vitor a 6'3", and another yellow. We couldn't put anything together. And against a team like Arsenal, that's a recipe for disaster. We bounced back by beating West Ham at home. And this was a really good win for us. Trippier had a 5th minute goal. Al-Jahani had a hat-trick's worth of goals. Luka Ilic had a 41st minute goal for West Ham to break up a clean sheet. We were just heads and tails better than West Ham today. 22 shots, 13 on target, only 6 from distance. Everybody had a solid game. Even Hernandez, again, that 6'8" is just, I've given up. I don't know why Tom Mew is listed as the defensive right back there. I'm almost positive he did not play there. And if he did, it was an absolute oversight on my part, because Vitor was there. It's okay, the game is just acting up. Anyhow, as you can see, West Ham was forced to take almost half their shots from distance. We were just on top of them all game. Al-Jahani has really come into his own this season, and Trippier has been everything I expected him to be. So, of course, after beating West Ham readily, we were away at Hull, and they beat us 3-2. On an 82nd minute Serrato goal. Arrieta had a 43rd minute goal, Tambusi had a 47th minute goal, Kremer got us on the board early with a 19th minute goal, Trippier had a 67th minute goal to make the game close, then Serrato scored. We had 11 shots, only 6 on target. Hull had 11 shots, 9 on target. Again, almost half of our shots were from distance. I've given up trying to figure out what's going on there. I think the guys, I have worked the ball into the box on. I've taken off the long shots from everybody. I know how. And just for whatever reason, it's not working. I don't know if I mentioned these in the last episode. You know what? If I did, you're hearing this twice. I needed some depth. It seems every year or so, my scouts go out and scout somebody, and I bring him in, and he's less than expected. A couple years ago, it was Samuel Campchero. This year, it's Mihailo Milojevic. You know what? Milo. I wanted some depth on the defensive line. I needed someone who could play defensive right and defensive center fairly well. And at the time, he was the best player my scouts could find. He was listed as 2.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 29 years old. I felt he could still grow into that. Instead, he comes in at 2.5-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability. Capped at the under 21 level. Also a couple international appearances. His physicals are okay. His mentals are good where they matter. I love the decision-making and the determination. The positioning and teamwork are also adequate. His marking and tackling are adequate as well. The rest of his technicals are blah, and that's the big reason he is 2.5 stars. But he's here on a backup contract. I'm happy to have him on a backup contract, and he's actually turning out to be a pretty good mentor for a couple guys on the youth team who will never see first-team playing time here, but if I can sell off an improved player, I will. On the outs, Dan Diallo went to Wolfsburg on loan, and Philco came to me asking for more playing time. And he just wasn't going to get it here. He's really kind of fallen off. I don't know why. At one point in time, I could have sworn he was a four-star potential player, but he is now 2-star current ability, 2-star potential ability. Even though he's the team captain, he wasn't getting a lot of playing time here. As you can see, we brought him in our first year in the Premier League, and he was okay. The next season, he only had 23 games. This season, he only had 3 games. I took a little bit of a loss on him. I brought him in for £4 million. He's leaving for 2.4. He's going to Newcastle in the Championship. I think he's going to be a better fit there. So today is our FA Cup 4th round game against Arsenal. I'm going to set the best 11 for that, and we will be back with that game in just a bit. Well, today we are hosting Arsenal in the FA Cup 4th round. We are playing our 4-3-3, Hernandez in goal, Vidor, Mugo, Milan, and Bautista as the defensive back 4, Mew, Wendell, and Blipovic as the midfielders, Kremer, Al-Jahani, and Trippier up top as the strikers. Arsenal is playing a 4-2-1-3 with defensive midfielders. Stankovic in goal, Hulk, Galvan, Caritas, and Pierre Giacomi as the defensive back 4, Gustavo and Kasama as the defensive midfielders behind Colombo, who is the midfielder. Smith and Davis are the attacking midfielders, and Freitas is up top as the striker. Now, I'm hoping for a good result against Arsenal today. It would be nice to advance a little bit further in the FA Cup this year. Kremer. Back to Vidor. Centers it to Wendell, taps back to Kremer in the crowd, Plipovic up to Trippier, and he scores. Oh, the defender left him all alone just outside the 6-yard box. That was nice. Kremer's double team there, passes to Vidor. Wendell to Kremer. Oh, bounced off Erhan, it looks like, right to Plipovic, and he just... we got lucky there, but I'll take a little bit of luck. Hernandez with a goal kick. Oh, Bautista takes the kick from Galvan. Kremer's there. And my computer did something. Did we score? And we did. What the heck happened there? Do I have something going on in the background here? Oh, I got OBS running at 26%. What the hell? Okay, it definitely looked much better on the 3D. I don't know what's going on. You know what? Let's just check something out here. Well, I don't know what's going on. Close down a couple programs in the background. Hopefully that'll help. And the standard, our midfield's being heavily outnumbered. Warning. Hulk with the ball for Arsenal. Colombo up to Smith. Crosses it in. Oh, Hernandez with a nice stop. Coming up on a half hour. We are definitely on the attack more, which is odd, seeing as how I'm on standard. Hernandez with a goal kick. In the crowd towards Trippier, but Galvan knocks it down to Smith. Crosses it to Freitas. And his shot is nowhere near the goal. He thinks he's playing for Enfield, shooting from that distance. And that is halftime. 13 shots, 6 on target for us. Good possession advantage. More than half of our shots have been from distance. That's just... Literally, these are my shouts. Work the ball into the box. If I take it off, are they not going to work the ball into the box? I don't know. If this sort of thing continues in FM18, then I'll be worried about it. Milan to Plipovic to Mew, and the highlight ends. Now Vidor picked up a yellow. This is 8th of the season. Okay. Milan to Plipovic to Wendell to Mew to Plipovic to Trippier. Back to Mew to Wendell to Al-Jahani to Kremer to Mew. Oh, Hulk intercepts the pass. Well done. Up to Freitas in space. One person to beat, 2 persons to beat, and he cannot beat Hernandez. He would have done better to hold the ball up and get some assistance. Bautista with a throw-in to Bilibovic. Up to Wendell, to Tripnia. And he scores again. What a shot. Oh, nice side pass. And wow, Tripnia just touched the ball twice and then drilled it. Okay, next opportunity we're going to make a couple subs. Vidor with the interception. Mew to Wendell. Up to Al-Jahani, taps it over to Tripnia. Back out to Wendell to Mew. And his shot bounces off of Davis. I'm not calling that a pass. We all know he was going to try and shoot. Freitas to Gustavo. Out into space to Smith on the left. Crosses it in. Freitas is there. And he is offsides. Smith was offsides. Okay. We are going to bring Holm on for Vidor. We'll bring Kara on for Bautista. Even though Bautista's on an 8-2, I want to get Kara some playing time. Al-Jahani's not having the best game, but when a 6.7 is your worst score, you're doing good. God, even Hernandez is a 7-0. Okay. 75 minutes gone by. Mugo just picked up a yellow. 18 shots, 7 on target. God, 11 of those are long. I don't know what to do anymore. Can only yell at him so much. Probably just a couple minutes of extra time, 3 minutes of added time, and we should keep a clean sheet, which is also a rarity for us this past couple of seasons. And having said that, watch them score. Stankovic up to Davis, to Raimundo, out to Smith, to Kasana, up to Davis. He's going to lose it. And that should be the game. And it is. Well done. That was a good game. I'm just going to totally ignore the long shots. We got 3 goals. Tripnia with the brace. Kremer with a goal. Solid offensive performance. And the defense was nice too. Well, the transfer window closes in a couple days. It's also the draw for the FA Cup 5th round. So we will be back with that in just a bit. Well, this is something interesting because he never came to me suggesting this is what he wanted to do. James Ward-Prowse is the head coach at Preston, retired from us in the 2031, at the end of the 2030-31 season, and took over Preston March of last year. And he's a really good coach. If I had known that he was interested in that, I would have hired him on here. Well, the transfer window's closed. We've made a couple of moves. Le Havre. I always called him Le Hack in my save on FM18. Came for Christoph Wozniak, and I let him go. I don't think he's going to be here next year. Gonzalez has turned into a really good keeper. I might be able to move him on for a decent amount of money. Mohamed Al-Said, who I thought was on loan the entire season, ended up coming back at the beginning of the window. I kept him here, thought about getting him some playing time, realized I really didn't have a roster spot for him, and then Aberdeen came with a loan offer for him to get first-team playing time, which I am more than happy to do, especially in a league like the Scottish Premiership. He should get some quality time there. Steve McKeekren, who is a name I know I've said before, probably because he was at Macclesfield Town when we started and Wigan. Comes to us from Celtic for £475,000. Primarily a defensive midfielder, but he's going to be a backup at the defensive center back position and the midfielder position more often than not. Pretty decent physicals, pretty decent mentals. The technicals, no, they're average, except where they're not average. But his marking and tackling are very nice. He's a backup. He knows he's here in a backup. And he's essentially Phil Coe's replacement. With Wozniak going out, I needed a backup keeper, but I also needed an English backup keeper for registration purposes. Harry Lewis was the best English keeper out there available. 34 years old now. 2-star current ability, 2-star potential ability. The physicals have fallen way off, but his mentals are still good where they count. His goalkeeping attributes are okay, you know, but he's a backup. He knows he's here on a backup contract. Has had a long and varied career, mostly in Scotland and Italy, which is interesting. He got games with Torino and Crotone. And he wasn't great, but he also wasn't horrible either. So he'll play a lot of the under-23 games, but he fit a registration requirement, which is what I needed. Both him and McEachran gave me 2 more homegrown players. It made things a little bit easier there. The Premier League roster is maxed out. 25 players, 14 foreign players, I want to say. Luckily, we don't have to register under 21s. Well, somehow, in the course of finishing out the transfer window, I skipped over the FA Cup draw. We are playing West Ham in between our games at AEK for the Europa League. So, I think what we're going to do is come back for the FA Cup 5th round game against West Ham, and then the next live comp after that will be the home game against AEK. Can't believe I missed that. Currently, we are 10th with 36 points. Still a decent opportunity to move up and challenge for European football. Man United, Man City are running away with the league. United's already 9 points ahead of Tottenham. And it's going to be a Manchester derby to see who wins the Premier League this year. But we're 2 wins from 42 points, which would put us in 4th at the moment. So we have plenty of chances left. Well, Arsenal's a top-of-the-table team. They're currently in 4th place, and beating them is a nice accomplishment. I just wish it had been in the Premier League and not the FA Cup. That said, our upcoming game against West Ham is, I want to say, the 2nd time we're playing them in the 5th round. They've beaten us before. I know we can beat them. We've beaten them in league games, and I would like a deeper FA Cup run this year. I would also love to see how far we can go in the Europa League, so I'm really looking forward to these games against AEK. I think if we do well against them, it sets us up nicely for our next opponent. There are some very beatable teams left in the field, I believe, and I think a good Europa League run would do the club's reputation wonders. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM18, and I thank you for watching.